Hey everyone, bringing you your daily dose of ugly motherfucker to talk about something that I find really fucking annoying and stupid. Um, so we're talking about this new trend amongst the harebrained right to pretend that people on the left are so stupid that they just in general cannot understand a conditional hypothetical. So the example I've seen given repeatedly is if you were to ask somebody, how would you have felt yesterday evening if you hadn't eaten breakfast or lunch? And then the person is like, but I did eat breakfast and lunch. And then the person asking is like, okay, you did, but what if you hadn't? How would you have felt? And the idea is that the person being spoken to there just cannot understand the concept of a hypothetical of of a scenario in which something played out differently than it really did. Um, and so they're acting. This is the more specific to the political point example that I saw once. I can't remember who the fuck posted this. I just this was months ago, and I've been stewing in my juices ever since, to be frank. So some fucking moron decided that to apply this to the political discussion, that liberals in general, people he would call liberals, maybe he would call us all communists, even though like communists hate liberals anyways. He was like, people on the left in general don't understand conditional hypotheticals because he he went into this thing about immigrants. Basically, he was like, if immigrants from like a certain country or whatever were coming in and committing these acts of violence and crime and terrorism, and nobody was doing anything about it, like how would you feel? He's like, oh well, they say that's not happening though, and that's because they don't understand conditional hypotheticals. No, that has nothing to do with it. The problem is burden of proof, which you are trying to skirt with this conditional hypothetical bullshit. Anyone can make up any kind of scenario in which anything happens because it's all made up. So if that were happening, say let's pick on the fucking we'll pick on the Haitian immigrants because that's the hot fucking button for these people right now. Pretend for a moment that Haitian immigrants were coming over here en masse and committing horrible acts of violence and crime and terrorism. They're all just, every last one of them is just stealing, raping, murdering, mass shooting, etc. How would I feel? Of course, I would be outraged. Sure. If that were happening. The problem is you've just come up with this fantasy land and asked me how I would feel about it. That's not relevant to fucking reality because you're the one making the claim that those things are happening. At least to some extent that is anomalous. And I'm still waiting for the burden of proof on that one. It doesn't matter how I would feel if something totally different were happening than what's happening. I know how I would feel, and it doesn't apply to this scenario because that's, in my opinion, not fucking happening. So what does it matter? That's the problem. It's not that I don't understand the conditional hypothetical. I can imagine that world and I would be outraged. Sure, but I'm not outraged because it's not the world we fucking live in, dumbass. Anyways, maybe someday they will figure out how an argument works, but I don't know. Burden of proof is a very basic one that everyone knows about except for them. So, anyways, I'm going to go be ugly somewhere else and I'll see you guys around. Bye.